Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are in verse 20. Know that Prakriti and Purusha are both beginningless, Anadi. And know also that modifications and gunas are born of Prakriti. Earlier in the 7th chapter, he had used a similar terminology, referring Prakriti as Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. What he referred there as Para Prakriti is what he is referring here as Purusha. What is referred as Apara Prakriti is what is referred here as Prakriti. So he is just linking it with that. That is where Arjuna gets the doubt. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he gets these terms. What is Purusha, what is Prakriti, and all. It's not that he is just asking off the cuff, something he wants to ask, so therefore he is asking. No, Krishna had referred this terminology called Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. So now suddenly he must have been remembering that. Asking, but what about that Purusha? Obviously, Arjuna is well learned. All of us know the story. It's not that he is illiterate. When I say illiterate, when it comes to philosophy, he is not illiterate. So you may know other things, but when it comes to this subject, you may not know anything. That's not the case for Arjuna. He has met, many gurus, and he had a teacher. And when they were going around, they were meeting so many rishis. And how many times, Vyasa had visited, how many times Narada had visited. And those people do not come and visit and have a conversation about, politics. What is happening here, what is happening there, will not be there. Point of the discussions. So they have been having these terms. So suddenly he must have got this doubt. What is this? What is this terminology called Purusha then? Who is that Purusha? So he says, look here, man, I have already told you. The words that I have used is different. And we have seen this many times that Krishna deliberately uses many words. Different terminologies he uses. But the reference point is the same thing. Why he is using it like that? That's the only way to keep your thinking going. That's a way to keep you thinking. Otherwise, you don't think. See, so we has to use different words. If he were to be not so bad as I sound that, right? Because you may be thinking, my God, he must be really think of that throat. That's all. Right? But I'm not acting. Sometimes Sometimes I do, but then, because when I hear myself, I feel, my God, what's wrong with you? So there's one of the ways of making you to think is to consciously use different words. Sometimes it may go even to conflicting terms, contradictory terms. So we have seen that already. Number one. Second aspect is there is always a tendency in people to get attached to the words. No, you can't blame them because idea gets communicated through words only. Right? Without words, how an idea can be taught? Idea to teach, I need words. But then you have to take the idea, leave the words. I mean, leave the words in the sense that you have to forget all the words. That's not what is meant. Your focus has to shift beyond words. Try to go beyond those words, terms. Somewhere down the line, we keep using the word mind, intellect, mind, intellect, mind, intellect, mind, intellect. There is always a possibility that you will get attached to the word intellect. See, and then you don't go beyond it, which means the problem is when you understand the word, you believe you have understood the concept. Many times, when I say something, or when you read something, when you hear something, not only from me, from anyone for that matter, you agree with that person means you believe you have understood that person. Agreement is not equivalent to understanding. You see, as I am saying, I am using two words now. Right? Agreement, understanding. Now that you have heard this, what you will do now? Sir, can you understand something and not agree with it? I understand, sir. E is equal to mg square, but I don't agree with it. Is it possible? I understand you are Ishwaran, but I don't agree that you are Ishwaran. Is that possible? Can you figure out a scenario where you have understood, but you are not agreeing? That means what? I have understood the cause of this problem, but I am not agreement with the effect. You don't challenge whether that cause has produced this effect. See, sometimes we say, no, I understand, sir, but I don't agree with you. That means what? That's a more of a political statement. Right? That's more of a diplomatic statement. We all understand that India wants to become permanent member in UN Security Council. I understand that, but I don't agree with it. China will say that. You know that, no? Of the 5 countries, 4 countries have already announced publicly that we are agreeing. One fellow who is not agreeing is China. He has also made it public. It's not that, diplomatic, he said that nothing of that sort. He says straight away, he says, no, I don't agree. And then you ask him personally, sir, I understand you are, you deserve world's most populous country and number one democratic country. Till date, there has never been a dictatorship in this country from 1947. Before that, it is very different. From 1947 to till date, what is the condition? Never we had such a great country. You can say 101 things. The only country which had never been a threat to any other country, India had never been a threat to any country, anywhere in the world. I can go on adding, points. He will say, yeah, correct, sir. Correct, sir. Yeah, of course. That's all facts, no? This is a fact, 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 this is a fact. Right? Yes. So, do you agree that India has to become? No, I don't agree. When he says I don't agree, what he means is I don't approve. That is very different. When you understand 2 plus 2 equals 4, agreement is when you come to any other subject. Now I am flipping now. Have you ever heard a maths teacher or a science teacher asking for your agreement? Do you disagree after they explained the theorem? Pythagoras theorem explains. If the student were to stand up and say, I don't agree with this theorem, what is the answer? He will say what? Maths teacher will say what?
You're free to disagree. I didn't ask you.
I don't care whether you agree or disagree. If you have any doubts on the theorem, you ask me. If you are having a better theorem, you propose the theorem, let the world accept it or not accept it. That is a different scenario. When it comes to this theorem, this is what the theorem is. I don't agree, I agree. We don't require your agreement or disagreement when it comes to science. Right? Right? If you say philosophy is science, why do you worry about agreement? You can twist and turn words, remember. You can twist it this way, you can twist it that way. It all depends upon who's wielding it. See, depends on wielding. That is why Krishna uses deliberately many words. Because if you get used to one particular word, which is a natural way for people to do it, you will never see Buddha using the word moksha. You would say Buddha doesn't know the word moksha. Patanjali using the word nirvana. We would say he doesn't know those words. They do. But then consistently Buddha will go on using only the word nirvana, 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 nirvana. You go to Patanjali, he will always say samadhi, 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 samadhi. That's why you come to Bhagavad Gita, you get totally confused. What is he talking about? So people always say, anyone can claim Krishna to be theirs. Bhagavad Gita talks about yoga, correct. Bhagavad Gita talks about moksha, yeah, correct. Bhagavad Gita talks about samadhi, yeah. This, yes. Sankhya, yes. This one, yes. That one, yes. Why is because everyone can pick up one word, one sentence. One sentence anyone can pick up. Whether you follow Karma Yoga, you follow Bhakti Yoga, you follow Jnana Yoga, you follow Dhyana Yoga, you follow any yoga in the world, you follow, you will find a material in the Gita. That's why Bhagavad Gita became very popular. But what, as student of Bhagavad Gita, we should understand this. He is deliberately using all those things. He is not attempting to synthesize all that, please. That's not his job. Krishna is not standing there to create a new system. You know, like Akbar tried, no? Take all religions, messages and create a new religion out of all that. Utter flop. It's a flop. If Akbar can be a flop, what is the point of you attempting doing that? Utter flop that is. Krishna is not so dumb. He is brilliant. But then he is using many words only to ensure that you don't get attached to the terms. Go beyond words. How to tell you that? How much ever you say, go beyond words. When I say go beyond words, immediately your thoughts will go where? Opposite words. Isn't it? When I say, hey, we are, phonetically attached to this word intellect. First, you should be attached. Okay. I don't know how many of you are attached, first of all, using the word, intellect. Then, once you hit a point, after that, what happens if you see, you will go on repeating the word without probing further. You get stuck with the word. At that time, when you hear this, go beyond word. What is your thinking now? Now I am not going to use the word intellect. Now what I will do? I will go to the other word, intelligence. That's all. Or you will pick up same word from some other language. What is this in Sanskrit? Buddhi. So every time you use the word intellect, what you will do now? You will start using the word buddhi. Now you will start sounding more philosophical. Earlier, you were using the word intellect. You got bored. You are not growing. Now suddenly you have heard, oh, now I have to go beyond words. What should I do now? Very simple. All that you have to do is what? Take synonyms. Synonymous term for the intellect is what? Intelligence. Which will not look so philosophical. So what you will do? Go to some other language. Oh, Sanskrit is an old language, sir. What to do now? Let's go to French. In Greek, what is parlance for intellect? Buddhi. Google. And then what you do? Or somebody will say, someone will come and tell you, Buddhi means intellect is in Greek, Latin language. Greek language is this. Now you will start sounding very scholarly. That is not what is referred here. Even when I say go beyond words, this means go into the content, not the container. But remember, No content can be transferred to you without a container. Every content comes with container only. Right? You cannot get it without a container. So he is using the term now. Purusha means what? Purusha here is not what we understand as Purusha terminology used in Sankhya. Prakriti, here there is a difference. So first he is introducing the term Purusha and Prakriti. So what is Purusha? Purusha, Prakriti both have similar. What is similar? Both carry the property of being Anadi. Purusha also beginningless. Prakriti also beginningless. Both are beginningless. One is Nityam, therefore it is beginningless. Another one is the starting point is not known, therefore that is beginningless. But we know it is started. So even though the term is same word, Anadi. This is also Anadi, that's also Anadi. But then the meaning for the word is not the same. One is always there. Therefore, it is beginningless. There's no starting point to it. Another one is the starting point is there, but we don't know where is the starting point. Must have started. In that sense, this is Anadi. Then he moves on to the next line. The Prakriti has modifications and gunas. So immediately what we have to understand, Purusha doesn't have modifications, doesn't have gunas. So Nirvikara and Nirguna is the nature of Purusha. Right? These things we have to derive. So he says, it has no vikara, modifications. Modifications means forms. That which has a form alone can change. It has changed from this form to that form. You can say, it should have a form, no? Otherwise, how do you recognize the change? So earlier it was like this, now it is like this. It should have properties, it should have qualities, it should have a form for changes to happen. Right? That which doesn't have a form, for example, you can understand the form changed with reference to earth, material. Right? It was like that, now it is like this, then it is like this. Right? 20 years back, how was the house? 20 years later, how is the house now? Right? Looks different, changed. But every day you keep going, you will not see the change. And suddenly, last month I went. For about 1.5 months, I didn't go. After 1.5 months, I go to my own house. The house looks old. The whole building. I say, why is this building looking so ugly? For 7 years, I'm living there. I was thinking, 7 years? No, 1.5 months you don't go, suddenly you go back. As soon as we are entering, I was telling him, doesn't it look dirty? The whole, the entire building, not inside, the whole, entire space looks very dirty. It was not like this, no, earlier. Should have a form. Similarly, it should have some qualities. Some property should be there. The one which has a form, that which has properties, that which has qualities, alone can modify. Purusha has no form, no qualities, no properties. So, from where does this properties, qualities, all these things come that we see in the world? The world of forms, the world of properties, world of all this comes from where? The source is not Purusha, it is coming from Prakriti. It's Prakriti's guna and vikara. Vikara and guna. Guna, the three gunas: sattva, rajas, tamas. I'm not going to go into the details of what is sattva or what is the tamas now. The three gunas, all qualities. So the three gunas and the vikara, the modifications, are all of Prakriti. So automatically, Purusha, which is not having this vikara, we understand as what? It doesn't have forms, it doesn't have qualities. Since it is not having a form, no modifications. Since it is not having any modifications, it has to be of the nature of changeless. It is a changeless principle. So, constant principle, changeless principle is called Purusha. Changing principle is called Prakriti. Right? In you, there are two. In the world, there are two. There is changing and there is changeless. In you, there is changing, there is changeless. Right? The changing in the world, Prakriti. The changing in you, Prakriti, matter. The changeless in the world, the changeless in you, Purusha. This is where a problem comes. Philosophical issues, which is not our concern as of now. Sankhya will say there are many Purushas. Prakriti is one, but Purushas are many. Vedanta says no. Prakriti is one, its modifications are many, and Purusha is one, and in fact, that Prakriti is nothing but Purusha capacity. The power of the Purusha is called as Prakriti. The power and the person can never be separated. Your strength and you cannot be separated. They are not two. In fact, they are one. The Shakti and the Shaktiman cannot be different. Shaktiman is Shaktiman because of the presence of Shakti. The Shakti cannot stand independently somewhere away from Shaktiman. That is not possible. Right? Yes.
So when we say Prakriti is a power of Purusha,
Mm.
so are we not somewhere giving some intention to Purusha? Or giving a quality there?
We are not giving intention there, but we are giving a specific qualification there. Correct. That qualified one is called as Saguna Brahman. Brahman viewed from the world. Brahman viewed by the student, right? From this angle, after creation, after accepting there is creation, which we have seen earlier, right? Adhyaropa, you remember? Adhyaropa, Apavada, Nyaya, right? First we accept. Why do we accept? Because you are seeing the world, right? The master is not seeing, you are seeing. Since you are seeing, to communicate to you what to do now. Okay, is there. Right. So at that stage, what do we say? Is this? We say yes. Purusha is there. A Purusha should have the power, no? Otherwise, how can Prakriti get disturbed to start the creation? Purusha is eternally standing in one line. It's like two tracks, railway tracks. They'll never meet. When do you think this track is going to meet the other track? They'll never meet. They keep on going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, eternally. Or else you have to say, initially Purusha disturbed the Prakriti, after that he kept quiet. Not possible, no? So there is a problem. Theological problem we get into. How do you resolve it? We say that is why we say Prakriti and Purusha are not two independent entities. So now how do you explain that, sir? We say Prakriti is inherently existing in Purusha as the power of Purusha. That is Vedanta. Explaining Vedantic concept using Sankhya's words. Follow? Vedanta doesn't use these words. Vedanta, if you go, they will use the word Brahman, Maya, all that. Sankhya doesn't use those words. Sankhya uses also word only Purusha, Prakriti. Since we are discussing about Purusha, Prakriti from Vedantic point of view, Vedanta says, yeah, we also use, we don't have the problem of borrowing the term. We'll take the term and say, yes, it is. But then, how do you account for the equilibrium getting disturbed? Who disturbed the equilibrium? Initially, the equilibrium was there was no creation. When the equilibrium of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas gets disturbed, creation happens. But then the question is, what is disturbing the equilibrium? Who disturbed it? Because it's not logical at all. And there is equilibrium, law of inertia. It will keep going only. So equilibrium will be maintained forever, which means there will never be a creation. But then who disturbed it? Yeah, Purusha, because only two are there. One is Purusha. Purusha is eternally a passive witness. He never gets into an active position. So Purusha would not have done that. And Prakriti itself also cannot be doing a thing because which is against this. How do you account it then? So to resolve this issue, they say, correct. How it has happened, sir? It is not two different things, man. It is part of it. That Prakriti, when we say it is part of Brahman, we give it a name, Maya. They use the word Prakriti, we use the word Maya. world. What about Jiva? Individuals. When it comes to individual, we don't say Maya. When it comes to individual, we use the word avidya. Atman, enveloped by avidya, has become the Jiva. Atman plus avidya is equal to Jiva. Brahman plus Maya, Jagat. Brahman plus Maya is given a term, a new word they create and give it a term Ishvara. So Ishvara created the world. Then how did Jiva enter into this world? Then immediately we'll say, yes. If that's the case, we are also here, which means we have come into this world created by God. Brahman plus Maya became Ishvara. Ishvara created the world. In that world, we are all living. So we also must have been created by Ishvara only, no? Vedanta says, no. You got created not because of Ishvara Srishti. You are not part of Ishvara Srishti, please. The Jivatva Buddhi is not because of Ishvara Srishti. The Jivatva Buddhi is because of your avidya, your ignorance.
Is that the same? Background.
We can explain it, but then we don't use the same word here. We say it is because of different word. So that you understand the implications there. If we say Maya, you are created by Maya. Okay? You are the effect. Maya becomes the cause. Is it ever possible for the effect outrun the cause? Is it possible? iPhone bigger or Steve Jobs bigger? Yes, Steve Jobs is bigger than iPhone, full stop. See, you can't say it is. It's the other way. No. It's the effect. That's the cause. The cause can never be destroyed. The effect can be destroyed. Which means eternally you can never get over Maya. Correct. So, what is the solution then? Remember the starting point. What is the starting point? Never ever forget the starting point of the conversation here. The conversation is happening between you and whom? It is happening between two people, no? Between who and who? You have an advantage, can take rest. Remember, the conversation is happening between the one who is seeing the rope, another one is seeing the snake. A fight. That's why every class we chant. How much ever we don't know how to chant. Even the words are not coming out now. We say what? Ma with Vishavahai. I kept that as our tag one for YouTube. It's a YouTube channel, no? Starting channel, no? For every video you should have one. They're asking me what to have. I said, put this one. Mahavit Vishavahai. Only to protect myself. Anyone asks me, comments, how can you say this? I'll say, listen to that first one. Mahavit Vishavahai. Let there not be any disputations between you and me. Let's not fight with each other. Why? Because starting point I fight. One fellow says it is rope, another fellow says it is snake. Now the contention is, can't be both. Only one can be correct. Sir, you should be liberal, Don't be fanatic. Let us agree to disagree. What? You keep it as rope, I will keep it as snake. Paithyon artham. If someone comes and tells you that why are you so fanatic, sir? Be liberal, no? From his point of view, it is snake. From your point of view, it is rope. It is both. Adepudi. How? That's why masters don't talk. Those who don't have anything else to do, give a lecture. But true masters, they don't talk to you. It's not worth talking. Because this message can be communicated to you only after you have come with the pangs of samsara. After you have suffered in that samsara, you want to get rid of that samsara, you don't know how to get rid. Then if you come only, philosophy starts. After that only, Sahana Bhavatu. Absurd. Huh? The absurdity of Vedanta, I tell you, these masters. For example, Kathopanishad, Heard of Kathopanishad? Huh? All of you heard, no? Nachiketa goes to Yama, right? His father said, I give to Yama. You're given to Yama, so I'll go there. He has not come to pick me up. Anyway, you have given. I know his house. I'll walk. So he walked. He went there. Yama wasn't there in the house. 3 days he waited outside. Young boy, fellow, child, not even you can call it a boy actually. Child, standing. Yama comes, gets so impressed. So the courage you have to meet me, man. People run away from me. You have come and waiting for me. What is it? I don't know. My father said, go, I have given to Yama, so I have come. I give you 3 boons. Ask whatever you want. The boy's first boon was that, let my father be appeased. He must be worried now. Give him peace. Done. Next question. Next boon. What do you want? Teach me one special yajna. Once he teaches, that's all. Learn the whole thing. One time. Some amazing capacity, that boy. His intellectual acumen and his renunciation. Renunciation you will see now. First, he has shown how he is so practical and so unselfish. Practical father. He has completed his obligation. Next one, he says, I want to learn this so that I can serve the world. Once he teaches, learns, intellectual acumen proved. Brilliant fellow. Then, third boon, what is it? Give me this Brahma Vidya. What is this? Brahman. Teach me now. Yama starts. You get really bored actually when you read it. How much he gives, temptations. I'll give. Why you waste? What's wrong with you? I thought you are a brilliant fellow. And now you have proved a useless fellow you are. You don't know what to ask. I will teach you. Ask for this. Ask for that. I'll give you 100 years. 100 years of not just old age, right? 100 years of youthhood. I'll give you wealth. I'll give you women. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. I'll give you this. I'll make you this. I'll make you that. To all that, Nachiketa says, Yama, if you don't want to teach, say, I don't want to teach. Don't waste my time. You keep all that. If you can give me this, you give me that. Or else forget it. And then, after testing his vairagya, his mumukshutva, Yama starts his teaching. Right? To that Nachiketa, Yama says, wake up. Wake up. Arise. Awake. Nachiketa, get up. Imagine if we were to be there. You think Yama would have said, yeah, wake up? Remember, wake up when he says, he's not saying that to you. Right? He's saying that to whom? To Nachiketa, he says, wake up. What is the caliber of Nachiketa as a student? To him, Yama says, wake up, arise, awake. That's what, Vivekananda kept as his motto. And he built, established this Ramakrishna Matta. Awake, get up, man. Some of us, because why he say two is some of us will wake up but not get up. You open your eyes and keep lying in the bed for some time. Such a joy that is. Right. Now, what was interesting to me was not that statement. Statement is just a not normal statement. Why that statement became so potent is not because that is told to you and me. That was told to Nachiketa. He has already awakened, no? Right. He has already recognized the facts of life. He has met death face to face. He is having a conversation with death face to face. What is there to wake up again now? Always remember when you are reading philosophy, the context. If you forget the context, you will become a philosophy professor. That's where the problem is. You see, you will become a very good professor of philosophy. Philosophy is not like that. Philosophy is created with that context. What is the context? I am seeing snake and I am scared of that snake and I don't know how to escape from that. How to get rid of that fear from that snake. After all these things only that starts. If you forget that and read it, it will not make any sense to you. That's why most of the time when you read philosophy, it doesn't make any sense to you. At best you say what? Yeah, correct. But then that, but keeps on coming. No, why? Is because the context is not there in your life. In your life, you are playing with that snake. You are enjoying that snake. When you are enjoying and playing with the snake, if someone comes and says that snake, don't play with it, your reply is going to be what? Like Ramtirtha says, in the Himalayan valleys, no, says, in the winter, there's some snakes, cold stick a little bit, seems. Because of the chillness, they get frozen. So the kids used to take that snakes and play, like Shiva is supposed to wear, no? I think Shiva also must have been wearing something like that, cold stick snake around his neck, The Himalayas, no? What's the problem? Nothing will happen. Cold stick. So they'll not bite you. It's as good as dead. But the moment they take it near fire, warm area, it comes back to life. See, when you are playing with snake, you do not know the difference between rope and snake. You think it is rope. You don't have any pain. First requirement is to recognize the pain of samsara. You see, after that only the whole thing starts. Now coming to the context. Don't forget in the story, don't forget the context, why we started the story. The context is what here? Now we are saying, sir, if Maya is going to be the cause of creation, Maya plus Brahman is creator, Ishvara who is a creator, and I am part of that creation, then where is a possibility for me to get out? The only possibility will be what? When the entire world gets dissolved, or I have to be the mercy of Ishvara. If Ishvara says yes, yeah, you take him out, release him. So once he orders, because you behave very well inside the jail, sometimes they do know. When you behave yourself very well, so you will be your sentence will be reduced and you will get early release. Same way, if I start doing whatever I have to do, then what God will do, what the Ishvara will do, will release me and take me out of this jail. Right? This is one. But nowhere you can have any say in the matter. Right? Which is, you can do something and keep waiting. That's all. Whereas Vedanta says, no. How the whole thing came? The whole thing came because of world got created because of Ishvara. Correct. But then, why did Ishvara create the world? Not to put you inside and roast you. Right? No. You wanted a world such as this. As per your order, he created. So order was given by you, execution done by him. How did you create that order? You gave that. Why you gave it? Because of your own ignorance. So If your ignorance, if you get out, which is created by your own self. Ignorance was not planted by somebody from outside place. Your ignorance is your creation. Your ignorance is yours. Your ignorance you can overcome. So once you overcome your ignorance, once you transcend ignorance, how do you transcend ignorance? Through knowledge. So through knowledge, when you get over that ignorance, what will happen? You will understand something. What you will understand? You will understand that the changeless in me and the changeless there are not two different things. They are one and the same. That is Tat Tvam Asi. That's what we call as I am Atma Brahma practice. And as Anubhava Vakya, you say Aham Brahmasmi. Right? There is a possibility for you to do something if you subscribe to this idea. If you do not subscribe to this sequence, the problem is what? Either you cannot account it for the creation, or if you say the whole thing is because of Purusha plus Prakriti, then you become eternally dependent on Purusha. So, permanently what you have to do? Keep on pleasing that fellow. One day if he is displeased, what he will do? Throw you back. So you do not have any. Can that be called moksha? Liberation? Like we have seen, no, the movies I have not seen live, but the movies and all, no, we keep, no. Some fellows will be released from jail, but then they'll be having one gadget like, anklet. Like one, will be there attached to their legs. They are not supposed to go beyond one, territory. If he goes beyond now, what will happen? Finished. Again, they put him back in jail. After that, he can never come out. Liberation. Like some, it may sound like political statement, but then it's really surprising to me that there's a case, you're put in jail, and court grants you bail. People come out and celebrate. Hey, bail, you are not acquitted. Right? You getting a bail is treated as acquitting. That shows, how can it be, man? It's not. Can you say he is free? He's not free. But where is he? Is he inside the jail or outside the jail? He's outside. But still, we don't call him as free, no. Same way, so long as you are in the clutches of someone, how much ever that person can be genuine, all Kalyana Gunas that fellow has, all auspicious qualities he may have, but still, that liberation that you are experiencing, the freedom that you can be experiencing there can never be absolute. It's conditional, subject to. Vedanta says, whether you are inside or outside, doesn't make any difference. You are still not liberated. So if you are looking for an absolute liberation, what is only way, sir? You need to rework the entire system. So this system alone has this possibility, where there is minimal loopholes, minimal gaps, minimal defects. So anything which has minimal defects is what you take, no? Who will take such a medication? I have cancer. I have to take this course of medicine. A, B, C. So C1, one injection, sir. 99.9% success. அவ்வளோதான் சார். எவ்வளோ சார் இன்ஜெக்ஷன்? 35 crores. 35 crores ஒரு இன்ஜெக்ஷன். B, straight away we'll go to what? B. But imagine you can afford that 35 crores, what will you do? 35 crores only, no? Hey, give me a problem solved, no? One injection, cancer cured. You don't have no side effects, nothing, sir. But only thing is what, sir? 99.9% out of 1 million. 2 cases will fail. Otherwise, it is. What will you do? If you suffer from cancer, if you are not having any cancer, what will you say? Why 35 crores for one injection? I think it is, what do they call? Medical mafia. This medical mafia, sir, this is. I don't agree with it. That means what? That's what Ramtirtha says. The olden days, in the train, the fellow will be selling water. 2 annas, 2 annas, 2 annas, 2 annas, 2 annas, he'll be selling water in the train. I remember I've seen that. I don't know how many of you have seen. They used to sell water. In the train they'll come, carry the tea glass. The tea glass only they'll be keeping that water. I don't know which water that is, but that's water. 4 anna I have seen, 25 paise. 2 annas, 2 annas, 2 annas. 4 annas is 25 paise. 4 annas, 4 annas, 4 annas, 4 annas. If a fellow stops him and says, why 4 annas? Give me for 2.5. Give me for 3 annas, no? Give 2 glasses, 3 glasses for 2 annas. 50 paise, give me 3 glasses. Nah, that fellow will not even stand there and talk to you. He will walk out. Why? Ramtirtha says, because he knows you are not thirsty. When you are thirsty, what will you do? Water. Eவ்வளோப்பா? After taking the first sip only, you will ask him how much. You don't stand there and do negotiations. The fact that we negotiate with these masters, meaning is what? You are happily playing with the snake. What to do? They will look at you and say, I'll play. I'll also come and play with you. So when they come and play with you, don't think they play safe. They know they'll be waiting when that snake is going to come back to life. It hisses you. After you start feeling the pangs of samsara alone, the whole discussion is. When you are not having that samsaric pangs, there is no point of studying philosophy. You are wasting your time. Because it will actually confuse you. Initially, it will look like entertainment. Remember, it will initially look like entertainment. That's what Radhakrishnan says. You are entering into a realm which demands utmost discipline. When you enter into the study of philosophy, he says, it demands utmost discipline. You enter, you come out either as a Mahatma or a madman. And Swamiji says, it's the most complex problem, bro. No madman knows that he is mad. No. And around the madman, there may be 20 mad fellows agreeing with him also. Right? Because 20 people agree with you, you think what? I'm not mad. Do you think you are mad? No, no. Now you will say what? Yeah, correct, sir. I think I am mad. Look at the shocking statements, they are. Certain statements, will not, certain ideas, when that comes, you can't sleep after that. You better forget all that. That is why Uttishta Jagrata is for Nachiketa, not you. For you, what is it? Sing some bhajan, and go to sleep. Have a good day, have some prasad, had a good darshan, come back and sleep. Uttishta Jagrata is not for you. Uttishta Jagrata, he says to Nachiketa, remember that. To Nachiketa, if he says Uttishta Jagrata, for you and me, what he will say? Well, don't worry. We'll never encounter. You don't have to worry about it. It's like me saying, Bradley Bowling, that this fellow, what is his name? Day before, this fellow bowled, 162 kilometer speed. Indian bowler, T20. He smashed the bat to pieces. 162 kilometers. Krishnan or Tamil Nadu bowler. India, Bangladesh, match is going on. 2 days back. I can say what? If I were to be there, why? Never that fellow is going to bowl. Even if he sees me back, imagine that one day that guy comes to bowl for me. One look at me coming into the crease and standing, he will come and do what? Underarm. You have played underarm cricket? Underarm bowling only he will come and do. He is not going to do all that, please. So you don't have to worry. Yama will never come. Even if Yama comes, he will not come as a teacher. He will come as someone else, but he will not come to you as a teacher, please. So you don't have to worry. This Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha has no modifications, no gunas. Prakriti has gunas, modifies. Since there is no modifications, no gunas, Purusha has to be of the nature of changeless. And Purusha, by definition of Purusha, we have already seen this as a conscious principle. Prakriti is not a conscious principle. Prakriti is matter principle, inert. So matter which is inert, different from a conscious principle, Purusha. So here we make a very clear distinction that Purusha, conscious principle, is different, matter is different. So your body is made up of matter, which is conscious of things around. Now the question comes to us is, from where does this consciousness comes to the body? Right? Body gets conscious. Now science will say consciousness is a byproduct of the brain chemicals, the electrical impulse impulses is the cause for consciousness. But then in the dead body, why it is not? So there is something, no? Correct. At least one dead body. Because science accepts to the fact that there can be some exceptions. There's always exception. No, people are having 5 fingers. There are people with 6 fingers, no? Exception. In the history of humanity, never it has happened where suddenly a dead body becomes conscious. Wrongly declared a dead body, clinically. That's why if you go to the police, the medical certificate, no? I mean the death certificate given by the doctor, they will say clinically, medically dead. Existentially is dead or not, we don't know. Who knows? Why you don't know? Because two inert can never interact with each other. Correct? No? You leave this chair and that chair for 2 months. What will be the relationship between this chair and that chair? Hey, we all one. We are armchair. This is armless chair. You are inferior, superior. This is that color. Look at that fellow. He's clean. This is dirty. This is this color. This is that color. Will they have any interaction? And you leave the table. Suddenly the table says, hey, what are you talking, man? You know who I am? People keep their books on me. They sit on you. Useless fellows. I am more superior. Will they do all that? They don't do all that, no. Put 2 dead bodies there next to each other. Do they interact? They don't interact. But we see interaction happening. So for any interaction to happen, there has to be a conscious principle. 2 inert cannot interact. So Prakriti and Prakriti cannot interact. So Prakriti to interact with another Prakriti, there has to be an interference of a conscious principle. The conscious principle needs to be lent by someone who is inherently conscious. Correct? Which is Purusha. Purusha alone can give it. Because only he has that consciousness. So, according to these people, they say Purusha stands always eternally passive witness. Will he lend? That is the next analysis now. For all, how are you going to account the whole thing using Purusha and Prakriti? How do you account for so many issues that is happening in life? Everything he covers in these few verses. The 5 verses he covers the whole thing. Using Purusha, Prakriti. Remember, wherever he uses the word Purusha, within brackets, you have to put the term Brahman. Atman. Prakriti, within brackets, Maya, Avidya. Or Avidya, you forget. Keep only Maya, that's enough. Right? Or elements. Put it as Prakriti means elements. The cause from there. Matter principle. So spirit and matter. These are the 2 things. So he introduces Purusha, Prakriti, and then goes about explaining this entire phenomenal world that we are experiencing as an interplay of Purusha and Prakriti. In Sankhya, it is not there. In Sankhya, everything is only Prakriti, Purusha stands there separate. Here, there is an interaction happening. Only then there are so many things can be resolved. One point I have just referred to. Two inert cannot. Prakriti by nature, it is inert. Your body is made up of Prakriti. World is made up of that same Prakriti, which is inert. But we do experience the body interacting with the world. How? Don't say mind. Mind is also Prakriti. Subtle Prakriti, gross Prakriti. Gross matter, subtle matter. But matter, nevertheless, is matter. So, therefore, it cannot interact. But we do see interaction happening. How? That's what he is giving in verse number 21. Right? We'll see that verse next class.